I'm a huge Frank Herbert fan, so when the opportunity to review a study linking spice consumption with increased longevity came up, I couldn't say no. But unfortunately, today we're not talking about the spice melange native of Arrakis Dune, the desert planet. No, today we're talking about chili powder. An article appearing in the BMJ links consumption of spicy foods to greater longevity. Researchers used the China Kadoorie Biobank. This is a study of around 500,000 people from all over China. At baseline, they were given a variety of surveys, including a dietary survey, and they were followed prospectively for a median of about 7 years. Now, around 50% of the people reported very limited spicy food consumption, less than once per week, while a third reported eating spicy foods almost every day. The rest were somewhere in between. Consumption of spicy food was associated with alcohol drinking, cigarette smoking, and very strongly associated with rural living. Keep that in mind. The researchers excluded individuals with coronary artery disease, stroke, or cancer at baseline, so death rates were pretty low. 1 per 160 person years in the mild food group and 1 in 170 person years in the spice everyday group. If you're doing the math, you'd have to take around 2,800 people who eat mild foods and convert them into spiceaholics to save a single life. Now, speaking of spiceahol, this effect only worked in people who didn't drink alcohol, which is a shame because that's the only thing that makes spicy food really worthwhile. Now, the authors should be commended for some nice sensitivity analyses, including excluding people who died within 2 years of follow-up because perhaps sicker people were deliberately avoiding spicy foods. But limited data on physical activity is problematic given that rural skew to spicy food consumption. In addition, there was no dose-response effect seen, which is always a red flag when you're trying to infer causality. Now, if I can soapbox for just a minute here, this search for functional foods, specific ingredients that give specific health benefits, your kale, your quinoa, your chili powder, is tempting because it offers a measure of control. You don't need a prescription, you don't need a doctorate, all you need is some special knowledge, perhaps handed down through the ages, to protect you from any manner of ills. It's a nice thought, but perhaps we should be gratified that it is not so. After all, if it were, then he who controls the spice would control the universe. For MedPage Today, I'm Perry Wilson.